Thank you, Rain. Thank you for coming today. I don't know if you wanted to introduce yourself, your business, where you're located.
Oh, yeah, I'm Ryan Brown with Paradise Theater. We design ultra high performance private cinema rooms in luxury real estate around the world. And we've been working with WorldTeams to support us with a few key team members to help us, in our growth as we've continued to expand into, higher level projects. We've just added a few key team members via WorldTeams to kind of help us ebb and flow with growing or shrinking demand as certain projects come on board.
And what was the company situation before working and after working with WorldTeams? What has been the change?
Yeah, well, on one perspective, we've added an executive assistant who is, helping me as the president of the company, helping my brother as our CEO, but also she's been very key in helping other team members of ours, with things that are allowing them to level up and focus on higher level tasks that really utilize their skills to the best potential. So she's been amazing at just kind of helping us focus on those things. And then we've added some drafting support. So we have full-time BIM modelers and detailers, but we've added some support for them so that they can focus on really the, best use of their skills on like our really most challenging things, and that requires all of their experience. So that's been really amazing as well. So it's just kind of helped us to have a smoother process. And as we get really busy, we can ramp up, and if things slow down, we can ramp down. And it just kind of is really helpful in that, period where, you're in between sort of adding somebody full time. And also we've been able to get like some extremely talented people for some, very competitive rates.
And like being all this said, how did you hear from us and why did you choose us?
Yeah, I heard from you guys. I work with a company called Business of Architecture. We do business coaching through them, and they spoke very highly of you guys. And so we gave you a call and kind of gave it a shot, just to kind of learn some more. And then I think we started with one. We started with where did we start? I don't remember, but we have we have 3 people that we're working with now, and all of them are really have been very key in helping us to be the best that we can be. We've tried outsourcing in the past for rendering and drafting, like in India, and it just did not work out very well. So the experience we've had with WorldTeams has been like a night and day difference as far as the communication, as far as the support. We're super busy. I'm very busy, but I think it's so important. You guys will chase me down to get a catch-up call, which is important just to kind of like unpack like how things are going. And you guys are very concerned to make sure that, we're having a great experience. And, I think, it's hard for you guys to get a meeting with me, but I appreciate, the persistence.
Yeah, I think that's basically what we do. I mean, for you to have like the best experience with us, that you have no problems. If you have like any issues, we can like solve it like as quickly as possible. So yeah, it is true. I get another question. Would you recommend this to your colleagues facing the same challenges? I know you have already did, but
yeah, no, I'm extremely happy. And so like a lot of times I'll be talking with, architects that we work with, or, other professional firms that we work with, and just kind of, sometimes we just kind of start talking about like business and, strategies and whatnot. And, I'm always a huge proponent, say, hey, you should call these guys WorldTeams. They're, they've set us up with a couple of really key people on our team. And I think it's like the whole nearshoring concept is amazing. But yeah, no, I've been referring you guys, and I will continue to do so.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And how do you find the employment methods of WorldTeams? Do you like them? Do you would like to add something, to change something?
No, I think it's like super smooth. Everything works really great. I mean, you guys have, our worldies, they have like a time tracking mechanism that they use that you guys manage. We get an invoice every month. And, we've really integrated these people into our team and into our process. It's helped our team level up by sort of delegating, effective delegation, by effectively delegating these tasks, and it's working great. I think it'd be very easy to like delegate poorly and have a poor experience. So I think it's super important for people to, really like train and be engaged. This isn't just like ask someone to do something and then like turn your back and hope for the best. This is a team effort. It's a partnership you have to make with these individuals to set them up for success so they can be like a great member of our team. So that's what we've made really important, is just like really like this constant communication and training and verification, and just incrementally sort of helping them integrate into our process.
And now talking about more about quality, what do you think about the quality of whatever you get delivered?
Yeah, no, we've been very happy with the quality. I think, it starts with choosing a person who's going to be the right fit we made sure that these people we felt like they would be a good fit. So far, so good. But really it's like the training and documenting of the processes. And, I think 10 years ago, we maybe didn't do as good of a job when trying to like bring new people on board. Whereas now we have like really great systems and we have processes and documented standards that like help us be more successful, sort of onboarding somebody new and teaching them the way that we're approaching our projects. So, we've never had an executive assistant before, so that's kind of new, but she's been helping us to document the processes that we're delegating to her. So, through a means of maybe recording some videos and like this is how we want it done, and just sort of using a voiceover screen capture and then training her on that, and then having her document the process, and then just double checking her work so that, we can give her the feedback that we need to kind of fine tune those things.
Yeah, it's true, because sometimes you don't know you need something until you got it. I think that was the case in this type of things.
Yeah, and it's like
good.
building a level of trust, building trust to be able to delegate things, and then, starting small, and then, now like she's helping with our CRM, and she's helping me keep track of sales calls that I need to make, and just things that are really easy to forget about when you're busy. And I can just tell her, hey, can you please remind me to make sure I don't forget to do this? It's super important, but I'm like running around doing a bunch of other stuff. And so it's just been really nice to have her as kind of like a partner in like our sales process as well.
Yeah, I think the trust is really important, more in this position as an executive assistant, because she'll be the one in this case. She'll be the one like helping you with everything. So it is true.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you guys, like this book right here. I'm reading this right now. I don't know if you've seen this before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you should check this out, because I think this is something you should just like give to people and say, look, read this book and give me a call back.
Okay.
Because like a lot of the stuff he's talking about there is just going to be like a lot of the things that people need to hear before they're gonna sort of hire somebody that you can provide them to help.
And now talking about unifying everything, have you had any difficulties like with the different time zones, being from other people from our country and you being in the USA? I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, the time zones, my staff is all around the US. So like we have like 3 hours time difference between several members of our team. So we're kind of working a little bit of a staggered shift internally as well. And so it really hasn't been a big of a deal. I think it's, a few hours, like I think we're somewhere between like 3 hours and 4 hours difference, which really isn't that big of a deal. And I think compared to thinking about where you might be like 9 to 12 hours difference, in some other cases, like, we're working during the same day. So chatting, phone calls, meetings, all those things can happen in real time, which is, I think that's key. I think that's the difference between success and failure in something like this.